to do that. Hey, it is me, Pearl from Pearl and the Prayers, and this is Tuned In Tarot. And we're here to take a look at the blue veins in my translucent skin. You're welcome. We're here to take a look. Like, look at that. I would not have any trouble finding a vein. It's like a map, a roadmap to my destruction. We're here to take a look at the balance between the masculine and the feminine energy inside of self, understanding that whatever state we find this energy in, we can expect to see that reflected back to us in our interactions with others, in our external environment. And if we want to see things change, we do need to shift and change the energy within us to create that change in our lives. And it's not about waiting for other people to change, it's about making changes in just how you react, how you think about the world, all those kind of things. And hopefully, from my readings, you will get the insight that you need to do that. Yesterday, I had a really great reading on TikTok Live, and I did post it here to YouTube. And somebody asked me a question about there was something about the masculine energy triggering the feminine energy. And I went into a detailed explanation of how that works. So if you're interested in that, check that out, and go take a look at that reading. It will really help you understand how you can take these readings, which we usually come to in order to understand our relationship with someone and figure out how we are influencing our relationship with almost everyone, anyone. Alrighty. I'm in a punchy mood today, although I'm also extremely unmotivated. So I'm both like, I don't know what this is. Like, what is this? This is me being like, blah. That's what it is. So enjoy that. It's all for you today. All right. So we're gonna look at masculine, feminine energy. We're gonna look at the top and bottom of the deck first, just to get a sense of where that energy is. This is the 777 portal reading. So the energy from today is pretty significant because we're entering into a new phase through the portal, and this reading today is going to show us what direction we're heading in, basically. It is also a special today if you want a personal reading. I normally charge $33 for the relationship spread, but to date only, I will be doing $7.77 readings for relationship spread over on my TikTok channel. So if you want to get that reading afterwards, I'm going to just kind of power through them because I don't know if there will be a lot of them to do or not, but that's what's going to happen after this collective reading. So let's get into it. And I'm going to try to be less verbose today. Wish me luck. All right. Top of the deck, overall energy for the divine masculine today. King of Cups, control, Cancer season, Cancer energy. The masculine is trying to control his feelings. Wow, that doesn't seem any different. So we're going through the portal into the place where we've already been before. I'm going to need coffee. If I was into alcohol, I would be spiking my drink today because I don't even want to read this card. But alas, I don't drink alcohol, so I'm just going to have to use the caffeine to try to keep me awake during how bored I feel reading the energy of the fucking King of Cups. Wow, let's talk about the King of Cups. Kind, compassionate, caring, loving, deeply held feelings and emotions with an unwillingness to express them because he has to maintain control so that he doesn't cause conflict in his life. The irony being, the inability to express your feelings causes a lot of fucking conflict. And for some reason, he's never learning this lesson. So that's his overall energy. He feels things and can't express them. Love that. Divine Feminine. World card. You're on top of the world. So maybe the masculine is sitting exactly where he's been sitting for a long fucking time. But divine feminine energy is on top of the world. She has closed out cycles that are not good. And she is ready for anything. She's comfortable with her vulnerability. She is really, I think, having a sense that that she gets to create this world, that this world that is she's experiencing is honestly her vision. So if she's irritated by the divine masculine, it's her vision that she's creating that. So you got to change your vision, change your mindset about that. But she's aware of it. She's aware of it. Let me see this question. Where do I purchase the relationship reading? Okay. So the list is closed for the moment, but I will open it up at the end of the collective reading. And the only reason I'm going to do it that way is just in case the reading goes longer than you can be here. I don't want to hold you back from being able to get your reading. So in, I would say, under an hour, there will be personal readings available. And then all you do is go to the link in my profile, Venmo, PayPal, or Cash App me, and I will add your name to the list and we will do your reading for you. Okay. So what is something that either of these energies doesn't really see coming? The first card up we have here is the Prince of Wands for the divine masculine energy, and we see instigation. And I don't really think that this masculine energy sees how he is about to just really stop allowing himself to control his feelings. I think that we're hitting a saturation point for how much control he can have over his feelings, and he's going to be probably unpleasantly surprised by his need to just get off of his ass and start making things happen by expressing his ideas and creativity in some fashion. And because it's not planned, and because it's spontaneous, and because it's like heated with a lot of energy, it's probably going to catch everyone off guard, be unexpected and impulsive. And this is what happens if you sit on something for a long time and you don't make a move. You end up not having a plan of action when you just suddenly go right into it. Divine Feminine, what don't you see coming? We have this Five of Pentacles energy. But because you've been in separation and you've been experiencing the effects of lack mentality, what I think you don't see coming is that light that you've been, kind of on the outside looking in. I'm thinking of myself like watching Housewives and being like, geez, I wish I could go to lunch. Like, that would be nice for me to be able to afford to go to lunch, right? I think because you've been in a lack mindset for so long, you're really not going to expect what it looks like on the other side. It's going to catch you off guard to be on the other side of that energy. So that's where the 7-7 portal is taking us. Once you've completed those cycles and ended this lack mentality, what's coming next is unexpected. And divine masculine, once you've relinquished this constant control that you have, this constant vigilance over the expression of your feelings, you are not going to expect where the explosive energy of your feelings is going to take you. So we will see. Okay, so this is the Friday love reading. We look at what each side of self is thinking, saying, and doing. And obviously, we can see that energy manifested in our connection with somebody, but both sides are usually present. It's not just that the masculine energy is present in people who are identified in masculine gender, but both feminine energy and masculine energy is present in both. Okay, so don't disregard one or the other because of your own gender identification. That is kind of irrelevant to these readings. Other readers may tell you that, but then when they read, they don't really make it that kind of distinction. They don't really show you how the feminine energy or the masculine energy belongs to you. So I try to do that differently so that you have more of an understanding of that. So today we're going to start with masculine, and we're going to say, what is he thinking about feminine energy? So what is the masculine part of yourself thinking about the feminine part of yourself? What's the masculine part of yourself? It's like the intellect, the analytical side of self, the part that takes action, the part that is like going after things, versus the feminine side, which is the side of emotion, the side of feelings, receptivity, creativity. So the masculine thinks right now that the feminine doesn't want him. We've got the Ace of Wands in reverse. He's convinced himself that the feminine energy doesn't really want him, that she doesn't not wanting him to just be in his sexual energy for him is feeling like a rejection utterly. Like she doesn't want him at all. And he also may be thinking, if that's not the case, he may also be thinking that the spark or the connection between them has died out, that she doesn't feel this burning desire for him anymore. And frankly, if he's waited a very, very, very long time to express his feelings, she may not feel that strong desire for him because she might not let herself feel the desire for him because she doesn't want to be disappointed about it. So the feminine energy, overthinking. What is she thinking about the divine masculine today? We have Judgment. We have the Four of Cups. And we have the Chariot. So a lot of things she's thinking. She's thinking it's kind of Judgment Day. It's now or never, do or die. Are you going to accept this cup and move forward with me? Or are you just going to fucking sit here and imagine it and fantasize about it? Where are we at? Where are we at with that? What is actually going to happen with this energy is what she is thinking. I just feel this frustration that is, it's just like an unbearable amount of frustration. Now, I want you to think about this with yourself too, not just with a person. Remember, it's been so long since you've taken action towards your creativity, towards what it is that you desire, that you are asking yourself, are you just going to sit here and keep fantasizing about having that music career or writing that novel or signing up for that dance class or, finally having a creative job? Or are you going to go after it? Are you going to stop being afraid and surrender your fears and anxieties to the divine and let the divine guide you to where you need to go? Are you going to believe and have faith in who you can be and what you can do? What's it going to be? It's now or never. That's the energy of this portal. What is it going to be? What is the masculine energy saying to the feminine right now? We keep seeing this Emperor card. I am stable. I am in control. How do we know he's saying he's in control? Because the overall energy, literally the card said control. So I'm in control. I have things under control. And part of me having things under control is I'm not talking to you about it. I'm not expressing it to you. I'm not discussing it with you. This card here over in the corner. Just, keeping to myself, doing my own thing. I'm powerful, and my power lies in my ability to control my emotions, to express my emotions the way that I choose to. So, yeah. Also, I'm a big important person. I'm a big important person. That's what I'm saying. What's divine feminine saying to the masculine energy? Again, with a lot. 8 of Wands, King of Wands, or Justice. She's saying, I can't believe this reading today, but she's saying, you need to communicate with me. You need to express yourself to me boldly. You need to take that action and you need to make this right. Communicate, grow a pair, be confident enough to make this right between us. If it's an apology that is needed, you need to give the apology. If it's communication in general that is needed, you need to do it. So please do this for me. Communicate, take the action, balance things out, like the song that came up for today in the shuffle. Do this right. That is what the feminine energy is saying. The only way there will be justice is if you take that wand that you're withholding and actually go and do the thing. So again, if we're relating this to ourselves and not a relationship, our creative side of self, the side that's tapped into the divine, the intuitive side of self, is saying, you need to go with that flow. You need to take that action. You need to follow your dreams, go after your passions, and do justice to your gifts and talents in this world. That is what you need to do. The next position is, what is the divine masculine energy actually doing? So we have thinking, saying, and now what is he doing? We have the Nine of Swords and we have the Fear card. So the masculine energy is literally torturing himself in regards to the feminine. He is thinking all of the worst case scenarios. He is imagining that he can't get out of this trap that he's in, that things are never going to change, and he's really just choosing to live in that fear. That's what he's been doing. And he's seeing the divine feminine as kind of being in this torture chamber that he's created also, so he's feeling guilt over that as well. Divine feminine, what is she doing? Wheel of Fortune. She is making an actual change in her life. She is doing things differently. She is entering into a new cycle, because we see that with the world energy here and the Wheel of Fortune. There has been a change. And the feminine is just about going after it, taking a risk, taking a chance, even giving second chances is coming up for me. But she's making a change in how she's behaving and how she is viewing the world. She's tapping into her abundance and her good luck. She's in a different place through coming through this portal than the masculine. The masculine is just focusing on himself, controlling his feelings, not expressing them, and fearing the worst. And divine feminine is like, look, either do something about it or fuck off. I don't hardly have time for your shit. What can the masculine energy do to create more harmony between what he's thinking and saying and doing? We have the Five of Cups, which says disappointment on it. It shows the feminine. He really needs to stop focusing on all of the ways he's disappointed the feminine energy. Whatever you're focusing on, you're getting. 333, when I'm saying that, 11 people in the room, 707 likes. So the masculine energy is just focusing on all the ways he's disappointed himself and disappointed his feminine energy. So this is you focusing on how you've had opportunities with the Four of Cups before. You've had opportunities that you could have gone after in terms of your creativity, and you didn't do it, or you fumbled the ball, or whatever it is. And you're thinking a lot about the way you've disappointed yourself instead of thinking about the ways you haven't disappointed yourself, the ways that you may have surprised yourself or delighted yourself, and you're just focused on that negative side. And it's time to think more positively about what you've actually done in your life and give yourself credit for it. If you want more harmony, if you really want to go after your dreams, stop trying to control everything. Stop focusing on all of the ways things could go wrong and focus on what could go right for a change. Counter your thoughts of, I don't know if this is going to work out, with the universe always has my back. The universe is always taking care of me. I don't have to worry about anything because it is literally always taken care of, right? Whenever I see a sparrow, I always think of that. Like, look at the sparrows, right? That everything they need is always provided for them. So aren't you going to receive the way that a sparrow can receive? Divine feminine, how can you create more harmony between what you're thinking, saying, and doing? We have the Six of Wands and the Fountain. The Six of Wands, of course, being about success and victory and bringing yourself peace after an internal struggle. The Fountain is a card that's exclusive to the Fountain Tarot, which is this deck that I'm using. And it really is about all of the things coming together. It's about that great convergence. It is about the divine, where we draw our inspiration, where we draw our power and our creativity and love. It all comes from that fountain. And it can also represent literally like the world wide web too, because it's our interconnectedness with everything. So The feminine can create more harmony between thinking, listen, it's do or die, now or never. You better take this action and go after this thing and take this chance and take this risk. You just need to believe that you will be successful. So think positively about what you're doing and really believe that deep inner knowing the feminine has, that, of course, you're going to be successful because the universe has your back. The universe wants your success and is lining things up for you so that you don't have to do anything except receive. But you cannot receive if you are in the mode of trying to make things happen. That is a sign of a lack of faith. That you have to control everything means you don't believe you're actually going to receive what you have asked for. The final position, what is the happiness potential between masculine and feminine energy? We have the 9 of Cups, which is all about getting all of our wishes fulfilled, and the Knight of Pentacles, which is about showing up and viewing yourself as worthy of consistent effort. It's about taking your time and doing something right in the right way. It's about being solid and stable and reliable. So if you want your dreams and wishes to come true, then you need to be showing up every day for yourself in some way. That's what the 30-day challenge is about for those of you that follow my Pearls Prayers account and are interested in the 30-day challenge to follow your passions where they lead you. It's literally this. And it's literally also what the divine feminine is saying, which is follow, go with that flow of your feelings, your emotions, your ideas. Let them inspire you and let them um, inspire you to action so that you can finally do justice to whatever it is that you're wishing for or dreaming for. So I like this portal energy because it's really showing you that you're the one that has the power to transform everything that's happening to you right now. And it might not feel like that because you keep having the same experiences that you keep thinking you're going to have because you keep being stuck in this disappointment energy. But if you start thinking about all the things that actually do go right in your life, make a list. I want you to write down all the things that have gone right and think about it. Like, you know, there must have been something that's gone right for you because you're holding a device or you're watching me on something that is connected to the internet or connected to data in some way, which means you have access to that. You have the time to be able to do this thing right now. Not everybody has that. You have the awareness that this information is going to help you with your spiritual awakening and your spiritual journey. Not everybody is as tuned in as that. There are things going right for you. And if you sit down and write them down, I'm sure you had food in your belly today. You're probably not watching this if you're hungry, starving, right? You're not starving. You probably had some free time to scroll through dumbass shit on TikTok today. I know I had a lot of time to do that. That seems to be going right for you. You probably have access to transportation, shelter, and maybe the shelter isn't consistent or stable. I've been there. I've had a phone and been able to be online and not had like a roof over my head, but you're in a place where you're not in so much turmoil that you can't be doing this right now. You're in a place where you have the time and energy to think about yourself and a relationship and a connection with someone else. There's a lot of things going right. And those are just little things that I can just assume based on our interaction right now. But there's even more that you know personally, and it would behoove you to take note of that and focus on it and think about, man, I could be in so many other circumstances where none of this would be true. And all of this is proof that there is someone who has my back, that there is, and maybe I've interpreted that as me the whole time. Maybe I'm the one who has my back because I'm the only one doing this and I'm alone while I'm doing this. Fine. That's fine. Acknowledge that you have your back then and that is something that you haven't had in the past because maybe you haven't shown up for yourself that way. But acknowledge what you have and appreciate it, and that's going to change your circumstances. All right, let's get the messages from self, from our person's higher self, however you want to look at it. We're going to start with a masculine energy. Right now, we've got the mouse energy or mouse spirit, and it says tend to the small things. So this is what divine masculine would say right now to the feminine energy. It is number 40. And he would say, The humble mouse pays attention to the smallest details. And I am calling on myself to notice the nuances and the fine print at this time. In my eagerness to meet my goals and pursue my dreams, it is often easy to forget the importance of clear communication and tending to the little things, including people's subtle signs that they are unhappy, as well as the small voice inside of me that says this doesn't feel right. I need to take my time to sniff out what I need to know. There may be some detail or nuance about how I engage others or operate in the world that is key to my success, but I've too readily dismissed it as nothing big or nothing special. I need to remind myself that what seems small may be more important and powerful than I think, so I must look again. I need to know that I cannot underestimate myself or my potential for co-creating something amazing when I pay attention to the details. Yeah, that's absolutely true. Love to hear it. Divine Feminine has a protection message. Time for Beginner Mind from Porcupine Spirit. This is number 48. Divine Masculine. I've been feeling prickly and defensive lately, and assuming I will be hurt before I have seen any sign that such a reaction is called for. An old sense of guilt and shame is causing me to be cynical and wary when I am meant to be open and curious. I know that self protection is a good thing, but I may be protecting myself from something that will not actually harm me, but instead will bring me abundance, happiness, and love. I need to remember my innocence, and I will see what I have been overlooking. Porcupine quills are filled with water, allowing a porcupine to float. Or, I'm sorry, are filled with air, allowing a porcupine to float in water. There we go. Now is a time to let my innocent nature keep me buoyant. So, Divine Feminine is saying, I recognize that I've been pretty cynical about you making these changes. And it's because I have allowed these other disappointments from the past to creep up on me and cause me to have a negative outlook on our situation. Wow, you both got the same colors today. So here are your color messages, and I'm reading them with the Lenormand card. We've got a number 3 for the masculine, a ship, and travel. He keeps getting this card of traveling, so we know that he's mid-journey. We're getting reflection here also from the Prism Oracle. And blue is like the throat chakra, communication, speaking, cleansing energy. And it's coming out with a ship which also has this water energy. Also, for some reason, I think because of the Titanic thing, I keep seeing Titanic stuff all the time. So I keep seeing ships, and I think that's significant as well. So right now, this masculine's journey is really bringing into focus how all of the things that happen are a reflection. And it's 3:44 on the clock as I'm saying that right now. All the things that happen in his life are a reflection of what he's thinking and feeling about himself. And he's really starting to embrace that and understand that. I'm also getting a sense that he is wanting to travel towards the feminine energy because of that reflective energy, where she is such a mirror for him. And he feels by traveling to her, he can understand more about himself and what's within him. We're going to look at the Prism Oracle in just one moment, but let's look at the Divine Feminine's energy too. She is getting whips. I keep getting this card. This can be a sexy energy, but it's usually about punishing the self or punishing someone else. And then we're seeing this cleanse energy come for feminine. So there's resentment here. There is frustration. I was definitely feeling from the feminine, and she's needing to really cleanse herself of that. She's getting the number 11, too, which is calling me back to recognize that reflective energy. If you're punishing someone else, you're really only punishing yourself. Let's get the blue. Since both of you got blue cards, we'll read about blue. So, blue is a primary color and it is associated with logic, honesty, trust, and communication. Ancient Egyptians celebrated the color, creating the first synthetic blue pigment. The color also has powerful religious significance across cultures. Blue is also connected to the water element, and as a result, it is sometimes used to symbolize transition and our emotional depth. Like water, blue can be cleansing, both physically and spiritually. Blue light can wash away feelings of sadness and is used as a treatment for a seasonal affective disorder. Blue is also correlated with the throat energy center, which governs communication. When mostly blue cards come up in a reading, it's a signal to honor the preciousness of this transitional time. All of these cards have to do with crossing some sort of threshold, which we're literally going through the 777 portal, and it's Cancer season, which is a watery energy. All of these cards have to do with crossing some sort of threshold. They ask you to surrender to the flow of the current, to foster a deeper sense of trust within yourself, to accept that, as with all things in life, your current situation will change. Let these cards help move you through. We'll read cleanse first because it came up first. So, for Divine Feminine, cleansing is a beautiful way to show love and appreciation for yourself, your belongings, and your space. It's wiping away the dust and grime to reveal the shine underneath, bringing a sense of calm, ease, and clarity. When this card comes up, ask yourself, what could use a little extra cleansing? How can you give yourself or your space a little extra love? And then for the masculine, some say that certain people or situations in your life act as mirrors that reflect back at you and teach you. What that mirror reveals can act as a source of inspiration, encouraging you to move forward. You may not like what you see, giving you the opportunity to make some important changes in your life. This card is a reminder of the importance of taking time to reflect and partake in some deep self inquiry. What are the mirrors in your life trying to show you, and what can you learn from them? So, I'm going to look at this whips card and relate it to that question that this card posed for the feminine, which was what could use a little extra cleansing and how can you give it a little more love? And I'm going to read to you about this card from this Dreaming Way Lenormand deck, which is different from tarot, by the way. The Lenormand is different from tarot. The quote from this card says, repetition of the same thought or physical action develops into a habit, which repeated frequently enough becomes an automatic reflex. This card showing a whip and a birch rod has multiple interpretations, some negative, some positive. Whatever situation being referenced by this card, things are happening in a repetitive, ongoing manner. The whips card often relates to communication, so it may involve arguments, banter, negotiations, prayer, mantras, incessant nagging, criticism, or bickering. This card is sometimes interpreted as indicating physical punishment or violence or abuse of power, but its more general meaning is any action that occurs regularly, repeatedly, or ritualistically. So it could refer to exercise, training, dancing, sports, cleaning, hobbies, practice, habits, sex, or any repetitive routines. This card is also a reminder to sweep away harmful behavior. Repetition, routines, practice, punishment, arguments, rituals, and habits. So cleansing or sweeping away repetitive behavior, repetitive thoughts that you're having about the masculine energy is something that is coming up for me when I read that. For the masculine energy, the question that he has from his card is about this ship energy. And so the way the question is posed is, what are the mirrors in life trying to show you and what can you learn from them? And the ship card says, 20 years from now, you will be more disappointed by the things you didn't do than those you did. So throw off the bowlines, sail away from safe harbor, catch the wind in your sails, explore, dream, and discover. The ship brings an exciting adventure or a profound journey outward or inner. You may have been stuck in a situation, caught up in the doldrums, but now is the time to break away and broaden your horizons. This is a card of transitions, of charting new directions, especially if you've been dreaming of exploring new ventures professionally or creatively. The ship card can mean freedom to make your own choices and navigate your own course. There may be a few storm clouds along the way, but once you break out of your comfort zone, you will find a whole new world waiting for you. The keywords are travel, transportation, adventure, exploration, and journey. So that is what his life is trying to show the masculine energy right now, which remember is you. New horizons, new things, sweeping away old thoughts, old behaviors, so that you can go in new directions in your life. Those are the key lessons. So each of you is, or each part of self will receive a sign during this time of this portal. This sign can be for whatever you would like this sign to represent for yourself. If there's something that you are awaiting for it to happen, then when you see this sign, it will be an indication that there is progress in the direction of what it is that you desire. For the feminine, we're getting bees or community. This is literally my theme for this month, is about community. And for the masculine, we're getting tree or ancestry, which these images keep coming up for both. Okay. So for the masculine energy, trees, the number 42 may also be significant. It's actually how old I'm turning in a few weeks. I'm turning 42. Believe it or not, I know I look good. I know I do not look like a 42-year-old, but I am, motherfuckers. Okay, ancestry. A tree is only as strong as its roots, which tend to extend deeper into the earth with each generation. You carry the name and bloodline of those who came before you, as well as their strengths and struggles, triumphs, and traumas. Honor these ancestors by living in your purpose and learning more about where you come from. The tree is also a symbol of longevity and the desire to build a legacy and generational wealth for your family. If you have received signs to put up an altar or develop deeper connections with living family members, this is the time to follow through and reinforce those bonds. This card could indicate a family or legacy related matter that needs your attention, possibly involving property, inheritances, or uncovering a truth from the past. You may be the one who has been assigned the task of breaking generational curses. Additional meanings include place offerings on your altar, connect with ancestral practices, spend time learning from your family, and family may be growing. Find strength and comfort in where you come from. For divine feminine, we have bees, which is number 37. So 37 may be significant as well. Can be a sign for you. And the message of this card is, as the saying goes, teamwork makes the dream work. Bees work toward what is best for the collective at all times, working together in harmony, each member of the group acting in the interest of the whole. Build community and get support from your friends to solve the problem you face. You don't always have to do it alone. This card is also a sign of hard work put in by many to achieve a common goal. Become more involved in your community or make an effort to build a team in your work. Bees teach us that you do not have to take on every role because everyone has their part to play, their unique talents and skills to offer. Invest time in strengthening your network and be open to working with others. Being a part of something bigger than you can be extremely rewarding. There is nothing sweeter than gaining a support system that is willing to put in the work and has your best interest at heart. The additional meanings are creative collaboration, be a team player, recognition and reward, time to come out of your shell, a period of aloneness, improve your skill set, and financial growth from collaboration. So those are important signs and symbols for you right now on your journey. And you're the one who imbues those signs with meaning. So the next time you see trees or bees, or both together, which is very significant, you will want to take note of whatever's going on or whatever thoughts you are having or whatever you assigned that to. 355. I keep catching it. 333, 344, 355. And Lacey is saying, I can't believe how accurate this reading is for me. It's also accurate for me. So I feel we're on the same page, girl. So your self-care activities, remember, this isn't for your person and for you. This is what you need to do for yourself. The masculine side of yourself is needing a massage, physical massage. physical touch, physical affection, number 34. And the feminine side of self is needing positive affirmation. So let's get your mantra and the journal prompts that you might want to consider this weekend. Remember, positive affirmations are a lot more effective if you are actually feeling the energy. If you're just saying the words and not feeling the feelings, they are, they just take longer to really take root. So if you're saying let's say you're saying the positive affirmation. Okay, well, let's use this one for massage. I'm fully relaxed and peaceful in my body. Okay. So let's say you're starting to say this mantra as an affirmation. I'm fully relaxed and peaceful in my body. And you're like this. I'm fully relaxed and peaceful in my body. So you're not, right? Your brain is not dumb. Your brain is smart. Your brain draws conclusions from the feelings that you're having. So, in order to truly reprogram your brain into feeling that this is true, or into believing that this is true, rather, into knowing that this is true, you do need to work on the feeling of being relaxed and peaceful. And if you are doing something stressful, or you're in the midst of something stressful that's causing you to be tense, and you're saying, I'm fully relaxed, it's not as effective, right? So before you go to say this statement or think about this over and over again, if that's what you're going to do, make this affirmation, take a deep breath, and fully relax. Fully relax your body. Whatever parts of your body will let you relax it, relax it. And then say it again. I'm fully relaxed and feel peaceful in my body. And then take a deeper breath and say it again. I'm fully relaxed and peaceful in my body. Pay attention to what you're saying and ask yourself if you feel it. And if you don't feel it, ask yourself, well, what would it feel like? If I got a massage, I would feel fully relaxed and peaceful in my body. So remember what it feels like to get a massage, or massage a part of your body that's really tense, your neck, your shoulders. Use a foam roller, like whatever you have to do to try to get into the feeling of that statement in order to program it, because you need both things, not just one thing, but both things have to be happening. Your journal prompt for this weekend is, what part of your body needs a massage right now? So really feel into it. I know my neck needs it. My lower back needs it. My legs, my calf muscles are so tense that I have pain in my heels from the tension. So I know certain parts of your body. And then maybe take that a step further. When you've identified the places where you have a lot of tension, Google the body mind connection there. Like, calf muscles are a sign of strength. If my calf muscles are so tight and they're never relaxed, then I feel like I always have to be strong. Like, I always have to be strong. I can't let myself just be vulnerable or something like that. If it's your neck is how you see and have perspective. You turn your head so that you can see in all directions. If you're limited in doing that, then there's directions that you're not seeing. If it's your low back, that's your core. Your core beliefs are challenging you. They're causing you pain. So I just analyzed what's wrong with me. So I have a deeper sense of why I have tensions in those parts of my body. So do that extra step to try to gain perspective on what your body's trying to tell you. We kind of worked through some of the positive affirmation stuff while we talked about the mantra here, which is you want to be not just saying things, but feeling it as well. So the mantra for affirmation is, I speak to myself with love and compassion and extend it to all those I meet. So how do you feel that? How can you feel that you speak to yourself with love and compassion and extend it to all those you meet? I guess what you would have to do is, when you catch yourself not being in that state, when you catch yourself being like, I'm an idiot, I'm stupid, I'm dumb, I'm lazy, whatever it is that you're saying that you probably wouldn't extend to somebody that you met. Like, you probably wouldn't go up to somebody and be like, you know what, you're a lazy piece of shit. And you shouldn't even bother. Why are you even trying? Like, you're probably not going to go up to somebody. I want you to actually do the opposite thing here for a moment And I want you to feel, because it's probably going to be easier to do it from this way than it is to do it from the other direction. Imagine that you are on the receiving end of the negative self-talk and feel how you think another person would feel, because you're disassociating and detached from the way it feels when you say these things about yourself. You've gotten used to talking to yourself in these ways. So I want you to imagine somebody vulnerable. I usually imagine my son, because I love my son. I would never want to make him feel bad about himself ever. I'm not that type of parent. I'm a exennial parent. So I'm like on the beginning of the millennials. I'm overly sensitive to his needs, right? So it's the opposite of how we were raised by the boomers. I would never say to my son, you know, your life's probably never going to work out. You should just give up. Oh, think about how he would feel. Think about how another person that you love would feel if you said that. If you were like, you've tried this a lot of times and it's not working and it just seems like it's never going to work. And so you should probably just give up and just resign yourself to being miserable for the rest of your life, because everything you do doesn't work out. And you must just not be smart enough. You're not dedicated enough. You're not driven enough, ambitious enough. You just don't have what it takes. You never have. And you faked it all this time. And you're just honestly a huge disappointment to me. And I can't even look at you. I don't even know why you bothered getting up every day. And I know that you've had those moments with yourself. And I also know that you would never say that to somebody. You would never even probably think it. You probably would never even think that about somebody unless you really hated them, unless it was a terrible, terrible, terrible person that acted horribly towards you and other people. Very unlikely that you would lash out with that kind of toxicity. But we do it all the time. And we feel that way about ourselves. We feel the way it would feel for somebody to constantly say that. Allow those emotions to come up, first of all, so that you can let them go, because those things aren't true. Those things are not true. Those are things that we have picked up along our journey. We have heard others say it to the people we love. I had an experience today where I heard my mom talking shit about my dad's eating habits. Immediately, I was triggered because, first of all, as a healer and as a person who understands psychology and as a person who understands reflective energy, I know that my mom is actually criticizing her own eating habits. She suffered with eating disorders her whole life. So where she gets off being like, this person clearly has like makes these terrible choices, it's really hard for me to not just be like, bitch, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, you are a person with an eating disorder and you don't understand this other person's struggle. Fuck you. Right? Really hard for me. I was super triggered because when you hear somebody talk that way about someone you love and someone they're supposed to love, you immediately think, well, what do they say about me? And of course, you have all the negative feelings that you would associate with somebody saying that directly to your face. So I had this moment of recognizing, like, wow, I have internalized all of that. All of the ways that my mom has criticized my dad's eating behaviors throughout his life and herself, and how all of the eating disorders in my family have played out and how they have affected me. And I was really upset. And I sent a video message to my sister, who's on the West Coast, so I knew she wasn't going to be awake yet, about all the feelings I was having. And I'm still having from hearing that. And I said, what would it be like to have grown up in an environment where we didn't have a significant caregiver who clearly had so much self-hatred and so much self-loathing that it just leaked out and poisoned the rest of the family? Because that is really what happened in my family. And of course, it came from her mom, it came from their mom, and it came from the messages that we had to listen to throughout our lives and everything. But it's caused so much damage, and it's really made it difficult for my sister, myself, and my brother, all three of us, to accept ourselves in our bodies and to feel worthy and to feel good about ourselves. And it's not even my mom's fault. Like, it's not like I'm like, wow, what a bitch. I mean, it's bitchy to say things like that, but it's not even her fault because it's really just what she's saying about herself. We have to acknowledge that the feelings that we have that are triggered by all these interactions we have in society, those feelings are indicating to us, especially if there's still pain behind them. Like I was really realizing how much pain I'm still in. That means those thoughts are still active for me. They're still going on. And even if I'm not thinking them consciously or I'm not acknowledging them consciously, they are still there. So our feelings and thoughts are really bound together. And when we're doing positive affirmations, we want to try to get into the feeling that we're trying to create from the affirmation, not just the words. And we may need to dig out some of the negative things that we've been affirming in order to figure out how to feel the way we want to feel. So the journal prompt for this card is, what thought patterns are preventing you from being positive at all times when speaking to yourself? Right? So I might say to myself, I love my body. But my thought pattern is one of the things my mom said today, like it was something like, my dad eats 3 eggs and 6 sausages, like breakfast sausages, like little ones. And she was like, no human being needs that amount of food, which actually isn't really true. Like that's not really true. I was just looking at different kinds of ways to eat to try to get to release some stubborn weight, and I saw this thing about metabolic confusion where you try to do, I think it's like carb cycling, different things. So I was looking at that and I like put my stats in and I looked up like if I did something like that, what would be my caloric range? And it's way higher than a person who is half my size, because in order to like gently release weight in a way that's not going to be toxic or harmful or painful to my body, I would actually need to maintain more calories. So for her to judge what my dad is eating in that way and to be so disdainful and so just hateful, and to be talking to her friends like and judging him for that behavior for something she struggles with herself, it was really hard to hear that. And I knew like there is the part of my brain that is constantly talking to myself that way about these things. So positive affirmations are a lot more complex. And if you've been wondering why, like if you've been doing affirmations for a long time and you're like, these affirmations aren't working, I'm not seeing significant changes, it's probably because there's still thoughts going on that the affirmations are not writing over, because the feelings of the negative thoughts are still present. And knowing how the positive thoughts would feel, you haven't quite tuned into yet, because in truth, you don't know what it would feel like to completely love yourself. Like you have to imagine what it would feel like to love your body every day. So you're going to have to find a way to simulate that feeling in order to really get that new groove into your mindset. All right. So I hope that helps you today. I hope that these messages help you as you pass through the 7/7 portal, that you start to take these things into consideration as you are doing your affirmation work, etc. And I am going to end my YouTube stream now and hop over to Tuned In Tarot's TikTok, where I will be doing the 777 relationship spread. So if you want to get a relationship spread on your specific person for $7.77, right now I'm going to do them for you. And if you would like to book a personal reading, a private reading, work with me one-on-one on these topics, click that link below and check out all the things that I have to offer at tunedintarot.com pertaining to this stuff. If you want to hear my music, Pearl and the Prayers, you can find all of my music on streaming services. And if you want to catch me live again, you can come hang out with me tomorrow morning around 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time or 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 or 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I usually do the 11 o'clock so that I'm done for the day, but every once in a while I will do the evening. So stay tuned. And then I will be back on YouTube on Monday for the Divine Tune In. I know I missed this week, so I apologize for that, but there is a really great reading that's there that I did, a Tell Me Everything. If you want to check that out, that is uploaded and available for you on Tuned In Tarot's YouTube channel. And make sure you're always checking the live tab and the video tab because there are many videos there, many hours of content. Thank you so much for being here with me today, and I will see you on Monday. Take care, YouTube.